They were sitting by my bed when I was in hospital. My sister was putting crazy hair ribbons in to make me laugh. My little nieces were there when I had to shave all my hair off, so they helped me shave my hair. My name's Karen Lanyon. I'm the Australian Consul General in Ho Chi Minh City, and I've been living in Vietnam for about 3 years now. I was diagnosed with breast cancer in 2008, and I had to go from Indonesia to Singapore to be diagnosed. It was quite a shock. I found I had grade 2 cancer that had gone from my breast into my arm. So it was quite a frightening experience and very unexpected at the time. After I was diagnosed, I found that you go through various stages of emotional response. The first time that you were told that you have cancer, you're completely shocked and you have disbelief. You don't believe that the diagnosis is correct. Then you get very angry at the world and say, no, it can't be me, this is not possible. And then you go into, I went into fighting mode. So I said, this is not going to beat me, I can win this battle. And that's how I went on. So I found out that I had cancer in July 2008. And I think it took me about 2 months to come to terms with it, realise that yes, I did have a battle on my hands and that I was going to fight the cancer. For 2 months it was working out in my head, a lot of emotions, saying why me, I'm not sure what to do. So it's now 10 years since I was diagnosed with breast cancer. It's 9 years since I finished my treatment, and I am very healthy. So I had to tell my family over the phone, which was very, very difficult. So my parents couldn't believe it, but they dropped everything and they jumped on a plane and they were with me in Singapore within 1 day. So that was fantastic. My husband was with me when we were told that I had cancer, and we had gone back to the doctor after a biopsy, and we were sitting in the waiting room and the nurse came out and said, has the doctor spoken to you yet? In a very strange voice, and we both looked at one another and said, I don't think this is good news. So he was with me in the room when I was diagnosed, and he was with me everywhere we went. He took me to treatment every day. He sat with me when I had chemotherapy. So he was with me there right throughout. The challenge, I think, is to stay positive. You know, you go through a lot, so it's quite painful. It can be quite difficult, the treatment. But I think if you have people with you that help you stay positive and you keep thinking about the things that you love and you take every day at one day at a time and you stay positive, I think that helps you get through it. I lost all my hair, so I was bald, no eyebrows, no eyelashes. But I thought I looked good bald. I looked like a rock chick. And I had lots of friends who gave me coloured wigs. So I used to wear bright pink wigs and blue wigs, and I'd walk in to see the nurses and that'd make them laugh. So that, you know, you can't take it too seriously. You've got to continue to remember to have a sense of humour and be positive and have fun. I had a lot of help from my family and friends. I could not have done it without them. My husband, who was with me throughout, he held my hand throughout everything. He was a great inspiration for me. So we're always a team, my husband and I, and he encouraged me to fight, and that made me think I was not even 50 years old, so I was still young. There was still a lot of things I wanted to do. I had my family and my friends, and I decided that I wanted to live. Yes, you have treatment, and yes, you go and have chemotherapy and all those things in the hospital, but when we weren't doing that, we went away to beautiful places, did a lot of exercise, yoga, ate the right things, tried to be healthy, and tried to appreciate every day. When I got healthy, I wanted to help other women who are facing the same problem. So I've done a lot of work with the Breast Cancer Network in Australia. which is a lot about education and prevention of breast cancer. And I've done a lot of work here in Vietnam on the same sort of issues. I think it's really important that women understand that prevention is probably what's going to save lives. You have to get health checks regularly. You can't pretend it's not going to happen to you. I did a speech last year in October, and there was lots of people sharing their experiences, and a lot of the Vietnamese women came up to me and said, it's amazing that, you know, your father was there supporting you the whole time and your family, because in Vietnam people don't like to talk about it, so it can be a very lonely experience for Vietnamese women. So we had the most amazing day. We all told our stories. There were a lot of people crying, lots of family was there, lots of supporting people. But it's amazing seeing the woman who I saw today ran up and said, 8 years, it's 8 years, I'm cancer free. So we did a big high five, and that was great. Personally, I think my life changed after I had breast cancer. You start to think about, reassess your priorities when you think that you might die. So for the future, for me, I very much live every day at a time. I want to make the most of every day. I think it's also important when you find out that you have cancer, that you ask a lot of questions of your doctor. Don't take what the doctors tell you. It's your body, you have control of it, and you must ask questions. If I had listened to my first doctors who told me I did not have cancer, I wouldn't be sitting here talking to you. I don't think I would have won the battle. Even though my doctors were wonderful, even though my treatment was great, I think probably about, 80% of it is here in your head. It's not a death sentence at all. I'm here to prove it.